Buried deep in China are massive prehistoric structures and unexcavated pyramids that defy logic. Scientists fear what may be uncovered because these ancient giants could change everything we believe about civilization itself. Don't miss this journey, because the secrets still hidden beneath China's soil are more terrifying than you imagine. Number 11. Urlitu Palace Complex. Urlitu sits on the Yellow River floodplain, where legend places the semi-mythical Xia dynasty. Excavation uncovered broad avenues, bronze foundries, and 4 palaces dating around 1700 BCE, centuries before the first confirmed Chinese king lists. The largest palace once gleamed with vermilion pillars and turquoise inlays covering 9,600 square meters of floor space. Ground-penetrating radar spots a grid of rammed earth foundations extending past the dig boundary, suggesting an entire royal precinct still sleeps under wheat fields. Bronze slag heaps show evidence of mass production at an industrial scale. Yet the furnaces cluster inside palace walls, implying direct state control of the new metal that would eventually rule Asia. Chemical analysis links the alloy recipe to artifacts found as far away as Sichuan, hard evidence of an early trade network spanning thousands of kilometers. Despite all this wealth and power, no defensive walls protect the settlement, hinting at political dominance so complete that fortifications became unnecessary. The moment carbon samples push these dates back further, textbooks will need complete rewrites because Urlitu forces a direct jump from simple Stone Age villages to a metal-wielding capital city with no gradual transition in between. Number 10. Shimao Stone City. On a remote plateau in Shanxi, archaeologists uncovered ruins of Shimao, a prehistoric fortress that predates the Great Wall by almost 2,000 years. Stretching across 400 hectares, it rises around a stepped pyramid standing 230 feet high, faced with limestone blocks that lock together like ancient Lego. Laser scans show stone walls running for 5.7 kilometers, interrupted by defensive bastions and an elaborate gate system that would make medieval castles jealous. Inside the pyramid, jade inlays and serpent carvings flash under work lights, hinting at a ruling class that controlled serious wealth and wielded terror as a tool. Excavators found pits filled with decapitated human heads arranged in deliberate patterns, sacrifices meant to feed some power that has zero name in later Chinese chronicles. Carbon dating pushes the city between 2300 and 1800 BCE, long before bronze chariots rolled across China. No metal tools have surfaced that could shape such tight jointing in the stonework. Yet the masonry survives earthquakes that flatten modern buildings nearby. Satellite imagery reveals faint outlines of additional terraces buried under current farmland, suggesting the visible pyramid is just the summit of something bigger. Every shovelful of dirt brings up murals, graves, and a disturbing possibility that Chinese civilization birthed advanced kingdoms way earlier than official histories ever admitted. I'm going to ask you a simple question. Are you a naturally curious person? If you're watching, I'm pretty sure the answer is yes. This space is made for people like us. To ensure you're always part of this community and receive all our latest discoveries, you just need to do one thing: subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to stay connected with us. Okay, now that you're part of our Legion of the Curious, let's move on to the next item. Number 9. Liangzhu Ancient City. Hidden in the wetlands of Zhejiang, Liangzhu City emerged in 2018 ground scans like a ghost grid sleeping under rice paddies. Dating back to 3300 BCE, this urban miracle covered 34 square kilometers, with its heart protected by earthen walls almost 4 meters tall. What truly shocks scientists is the water control network. More than 30 dams, canals, and reservoirs woven across the valley, capable of taming seasonal floods that still plague modern engineers today. Core samples show silt layers trapped behind artificial embankments, proving the designers understood hydrology on a massive scale. At the ceremonial core stands Mojacao's Palace, a raised platform big enough for 9 football fields, where jade Kong cylinders and polished axes sat arranged like ritual code nobody can crack. No historical chronicle records Liangzhu's rise or collapse. Yet pollen data reveals a sudden drought around 2300 BCE, followed by total abandonment. The dams held firm, even as people vanished, their empty channels slowly filling with reeds and mud. Engineers visiting the site today admit that replicating this system with modern excavators would take years, and the margin for error remains razor thin. The hydraulic engineering alone suggests a level of planning and execution that shouldn't exist in what textbooks still call the Late Stone Age. Number 8. Huifa River Dolmens. Deep in Jilin forests, gray stone slabs jut from moss like the jaws of buried giants waiting to snap shut. These are the Huifa River Dolmens, more than 80 megalithic tombs built from granite blocks in the 5th century BCE. Each dolmen follows the same template, 2 upright stones supporting a single massive capstone, some weighing more than city buses. Unlike Korean dolmens found to the east, these all point north-south, hinting at a local cosmology that got completely lost to history. Archaeologists crawling inside discovered bronze knives alongside deer antlers, blending steppe hunting culture with settled farming practices. Most slabs were quarried across the river and dragged over ice during brutal winters, then levered upright using timber tripods and raw human muscle. The workforce needed rivals Egyptian pyramid crews in scale, yet the community left absolutely zero written records. Excavation pits reveal charcoal scorch marks that date the entire building phase to a single generation, a lightning burst of construction effort that came and went like a storm. Local legends claim the stones seal portals to the sky, and villagers still leave millet offerings at the base every solstice. Researchers see an early branch of East Asian megalithic tradition, reaching its absolute northern limit, a silent frontier marker between emerging kingdoms that would soon swallow each other. Number 7. Xi'an Earthen Pyramids. Scattered across wheat fields near Xi'an stand dozens of earthen pyramids that most people fly over without even noticing. From the air, they form a deliberate grid, with each mound aligned perfectly to compass points. Satellite imagery and imperial records identify at least 38 royal tombs, dating from the Qin to Tang dynasties, some rising 70 meters high into the sky. The largest, Ma Ling, once shimmered under white plaster coating, serving as a landmark for merchant caravans traveling the Silk Road. Astrophysicists ran orientation studies and discovered statistically significant alignments to lunar standstill points, suggesting court astronomers encoded sky knowledge directly into the ground plan. Several mounds hide under military no-fly zones, sparking persistent rumors of unexcavated chambers filled with ancient scrolls and mechanical devices that would rewrite history. Core drills reveal packed earth bricks layered with clay sheets that repel groundwater, a waterproofing technique still effective 2,000 years later. Opening any tomb faces serious legal limits, since grave robbery carries the death penalty in China. That leaves scientists squinting at LiDAR scans, knowing entire libraries could lie just meters away, yet permanently locked out of reach. The pyramids sit there decade after decade, guarding secrets that modern law protects better than any ancient curse ever could. Number 6. Chen Shi Huang's Mausoleum. Every tourist knows about the Terracotta Army, but few people grasp the terrifying scale of the tomb it actually guards. Under an earthen mound, 76 meters tall, sits a subterranean city built for China's first emperor, Chen Shi Huang. Ground surveys map a rectangle spanning 5.6 kilometers, ringed by double walls and watchtowers that dwarf Vatican City. Mercury readings spike 50 times above background levels across the site, matching ancient texts describing rivers of liquid metal flowing through a model empire sealed deep under the mound. Yet no modern probe dares drill down, because mercury vapor and potential ancient traps could poison entire crews and destroy priceless frescoes the instant air rushes in. Terracotta warriors occupy only the outer barracks of this complex. The central burial chamber remains completely untouched 30 meters underground. Radar scans show vaulted roofs supported by timber beams long since decayed, yet somehow still holding due to packed soil pressure acting like concrete. Archaeologists constantly debate whether to open it at all. A single miscalculation could collapse the chambers and erase unread scrolls preserved in oxygen-free darkness for 2,000 years. Until technology catches up to the challenge, this pyramid-shaped mausoleum stays locked tight, its mercury rivers and jeweled ceiling preserved in lethal silence, reminding the modern world that some ancient secrets actively fight back against discovery. Number 5. Banpo Neolithic Village. Just east of modern Xi'an, a construction crew in 1953 hit pottery shards, and suddenly the ground opened into Banpo, a Neolithic village frozen in time like an ancient snapshot. Radiocarbon dates between 4500 and 3700 BCE map a thriving community of around 500 people. They dug a protective moat 3 meters wide around 50,000 square meters of timber longhouses, setting the architectural blueprint for later Chinese urban planning. Post holes show houses stood on raised floors to fight damp winters, while hearths sat dead center, creating shared warmth and an early sense of family identity. One grave holds a mother embracing a child, a moment so intimate that excavation workers refuse to separate the bones. The settlement's kiln yard produced distinctive red pottery that quickly spread across the Yellow River Basin, making Banpo an ancient manufacturing hub before wheels even reached China. Crucially, the village lies close to basalt sources, perfect for tools. Yet the implements found are polished stone imported from miles away, solid proof of barter lines and trade routes older than any writing system. Standing on the preserved walkways today, experts feel the first heartbeat of organized. Number 4. Taosi Observatory. Before bronze working, before formal calendars, villagers at Taosi built a stargazing device that rivals Stonehenge for sheer precision. 13 packed earth columns, each 2 meters wide, stand in a careful semicircle overlooking the Fen River plain. Gaps between columns line up perfectly with sunrise positions throughout the year, letting priests mark solstices to within 2 days of accuracy. Archaeologists confirmed this function by watching dawnlight pierce the gaps on modern solstice mornings, tracing the exact same shadows cast 4,000 years ago. The observatory covers only 1,000 square meters, but its impact reshaped entire society. Accurate solar timing meant predictable planting seasons, reliable taxation, and organized ritual calendars. Artifacts found nearby include jade knives, ceremonial drums, and skull drums bearing cut marks that hint at ceremonies edging into something darker and more fearful. Most surprisingly, 3D scans show the platform's original radius varies by less than 3 centimeters across the entire structure, a level of precision incredibly hard to achieve using just baskets of rammed clay. Taosi pushes Chinese astronomy back to 2100 BCE, forcing experts to admit that formal scientific observation sprouted from ritual practices far earlier than anyone expected or textbooks currently teach. Number 3. Huashan Mystery Grottos. High above the Xinan River, black doorways pepper the granite cliffs of Huangshan like entrances to another dimension. Locals called them old mining scars for generations until surveyors rappelled inside and couldn't believe their eyes. 36 caverns snake through solid mountain, the largest stretching 170 meters, with ceilings 20 meters tall. Columns were carefully carved but left uncut from the ceiling, supporting chambers the size of cathedrals. Tool marks spiral across walls in neat rows, as though craftsmen followed chalk lines by torchlight with impossible precision. No soot coats the ceilings, hinting at mirrored light shafts or some kind of water lamps we don't understand. Archaeologists date the grottos to at least 1,500 years ago, though some researchers think much earlier, based on submerged entrances now sitting 70 meters above the current river level. The volume excavated equals over 200,000 cubic meters of solid rock. Yet, just like Longyu, spoil piles are nowhere in sight. Residents have fished the river for centuries without netting a single abandoned tool or statue to explain the massive effort. Engineers entered with laser scanners and left shaking their heads, admitting modern blasting techniques would fracture those support pillars instantly. Number 2. The Yangshan Quarry Stela Base. Climb 300 meters up a foggy hillside in Jiangsu, and you'll find something that makes modern engineers question everything they know about physics. In 1405, imperial craftsmen started carving a memorial stele for the Yongle Emperor straight out of the mountain. They cut 3 massive pieces: the head, the body, and the base. Then they stopped cold. The base alone weighs 16,250 tons, roughly the same as a World War II battleship. Moving that chunk of stone downhill without destroying every road and wooden roller in Ming China was impossible. So they left it there, edges sharp as the day they carved it, tool marks frozen mid-cut. The 3 pieces still cling to that slope today. Modern cranes max out at lifting around 20,000 tons under perfect conditions. The combined weight of all 3 stela pieces? Over 31,000 tons. No documents explain how court engineers planned to move it or raise it into position. The project got cancelled and the records disappeared. When you walk through the moss-covered quarry now, you're staring up at stone faces taller than apartment buildings, trying to picture labor gangs attempting to rope these monsters onto barges that never came. The quarry looks like someone hit pause on a disaster movie, showing how ambition crashed headfirst into the limits of technology, and proving that ancient China regularly attempted scales that still make structural engineers break into a cold sweat. Number 1. New Hiliang Pyramid of the Jade Goddess. Perched on windswept ridges above the Liao River, the New Hiliang complex guards 4,500 years of ritual memory that predates written Chinese history. Its centerpiece looks like a natural hill, until excavation revealed a pyramidal mound built from piled stone capped with crimson clay that once glowed under sunrise. Beside it stands the famous Goddess Temple, where a life-sized clay face with painted eyes stared through an opening aligned perfectly to midsummer dawn. 14 circular tomb platforms dot the escarpment, each packed with jade pigs, dragons, and rings that predate the earliest Chinese writing systems. Geologists discovered that builders quarried sandstone blocks from cliffs nearly 20 kilometers away, hauled them uphill through rough terrain, then fitted them together without any mortar. The terraces form sightlines that track solstice sunrises like a giant stone calendar. Nothing in Yellow River historical texts mentions this culture. Now, I'm leaving the next step of your journey up to you. On your screen, you'll see 2 of our best videos. Choose your curiosity and click on the one that calls to you now. Well, that's it, and until next time, Curious One.